In the fascinating world of animal production, innovative practices emerge to respond to constantly evolving market demands. These unique methods, ranging from farming in extreme conditions to the use of unexpected resources, testify to a relationship in full mutation between man and his environment. Prepare to discover these unexpected approaches that redefine the industry. Let's go. The yak, an emblematic animal of mountainous regions. Yaks, robust animals from the extreme altitudes of Himalayas, Mongolia, and Central Asia, play a crucial role in breeding these regions. Their exceptional adaptation allows them to survive temperatures that can descend up to 40 degrees Celsius, breathe with less oxygen, and feed on rare vegetation. Unlike conventional farming animals, yaks require little human intervention and thrive at more than 4,000 meters above sea level. Although their reproductive cycle is slower, the females reach maturity between 3 and 4 years old and give birth every 2 years, with calves dependent on breast milk for an extended period. Their diet is made up of dry pastures and foam, which they digest better than other ruminants. In addition to their resistance, yaks are essential for mountain communities. Their meat, lean and rich in protein, is tasty and less oily. For conservation, it is often dried or smoked, allowing conservation without refrigeration. Their dairy products, with a fat rate of 7%, almost double that of cow's milk, are used to make cheese, butter, and yogurt. Their wool, hot and faster to dry than that of sheep, is popular for quality textiles. In addition, their leather is used for shoes and mountaineering equipment. Yaks are also essential load animals on mountain roads. With around 14 million yaks worldwide, 85% of their population is in Tibet, Nepal, Mongolia, India, and China. Heliciculture. In the vast field of animal production, there are surprising niches that have given birth to unique and specialized industries. Among these, snail breeding or helic farming has experienced rapid growth in recent years, responding to growing demand in the gastronomy and cosmetics areas. Although their flesh is considered a delicacy in many countries, their production presents challenges, because these creatures are fragile and sensitive to factors such as humidity and temperature. Any error can compromise a whole harvest. There are mainly 2 breeding methods: outdoors, in protected plots or greenhouses, where conditions are controlled to optimize their growth. The choice of method depends on the species of snails. Although hermaphrodites, these animals need to mate to reproduce, each individual laying between 100 and 500 eggs that hatch in a few weeks. Snails feed on vegetables, cereals, and calcium, crucial to strengthen their shell. Depending on the species, they reach a commercial size in 4 to 12 months. Before being marketed, they undergo a purge process to clean their digestive system, then are washed, sorted, and packaged. Each year, more than 450,000 tons of snails are produced, with countries like France, Spain, Italy, and Greece in mind. However, helic farming continues to evolve, developing in Latin America and Asia, carried by a constantly increasing demand. A sector where patience and precision are essential, because although snails advance slowly, their industry progresses quickly. Mud crabs. Mud crabs, grown in specialized farms, have become very popular shells in Asia, Africa, and Australia. Their overflow led to the creation of controlled breeding systems. 2 main methods exist for their production. The first is to raise them in muddy ponds, where brackish water promotes the formation of natural burrows. To avoid territorial conflicts, shelters like trunks or PVC tubes are installed because these crabs can be injured between them. The second method, cage breeding, implies capturing young crabs in nature and placing them in individual cages to fatten them. For about 45 to 90 days, they receive a diet rich in protein until reaching the ideal size for marketing. The main countries producing mud crabs are China, Vietnam, the Philippines, India, and Australia, where demand continues to increase thanks to the growing interest in quality seafood. Currently, the production of mud crabs exceeds 300,000 tons per year. This crustacean is appreciated not only for its delicious flesh, but also for its particular texture, which attracts consumers. By cultivating these crabs in controlled environments, producers can guarantee constant quality and meet market requirements. This industry continues to develop, providing consumers with sustainable seafood while protecting the wild populations of these crustaceans. Thus, breeding of mud crabs represents an innovative response to the challenges of overfishing and the growing demand for seafood. The case of woolly sheep. The wool sheep occupy a preponderant place in the textile industry thanks to their precious fibers. Their ability to regulate temperature, absorb moisture, and offer a soft texture makes it an essential material for the manufacture of high-quality textiles, such as carpets and clothing. However, large-scale wool production requires a carefully controlled process, ranging from breeding of sheep selected to the treatment of wool for its transformation into wires. It is important to note that not all sheep breeds produce the same quality wool. Some, like the merino, are particularly popular for the finesse and resistance of their fibers. These sheep are generally raised in temperate and mountainous regions, where the cold climate promotes the development of a dense coat. Their diet is mainly based on natural pastures, although supplements are sometimes added to optimize the quality of wool. On average, a sheep produces between 2 and 8 kilograms of wool per year, depending on its race and breeding conditions. The mowing, which consists in removing wool, is done once or twice a year, depending on the growth rate of the coat and the type of fiber sought. Once the wool is collected, it is classified according to its quality. The cleanest and gentle fibers are intended for luxury clothes, while the thicker fibers are used for industrial textiles. On the world market, Australia, China, and New Zealand are the main producers, representing more than 60% of the world supply, with annual production exceeding 1 million tons. Bullfrogs. In the fascinating field of animal farming, certain unusual practices have emerged, illustrating the evolution of the interaction between man and his environment. One of them concerns the breeding of male frogs, known as bullfrogs. These amphibians are the highest in the world, but their breeding presents challenges because of their complex life cycle, which includes an aquatic phase and an earthly phase. The females lay up to 20,000 eggs at once, which hatch in 3 to 7 days. Young frogs, as soon as they leave the egg, grow in oxygen-rich ponds, where the temperature must be maintained between 20 and 28 degrees Celsius. Their initial diet consists of microalgae and balanced food. After 3 to 5 months, they develop legs and lungs, thus starting their transition to Earth. Once the metamorphosis is completed, they are transferred to pools with dry platforms and start to feed on insects, small fish, and foods rich in protein. Their meat is appreciated for its low-fat content and its richness in protein, with a taste comparable to that of chicken or white fish. Bullfrogs are mainly marketed in the form of thighs. Brazil is the world leader in their production, followed by China, the United States, and France. In all, more than 10,000 tons of bullfrog meat are produced each year thanks to these innovative farming methods. This expanding sector, although complex, responds to growing demand for alternative protein sources and reveals a unique aspect of modern farming. Kurobuta. Kurobuta, which means black pig in Japanese, is a particularly popular variety of pork. This type of pig is distinguished by its strict breeding standards and its specialized diet, making it exceptional in the world of porcine meat. Unlike conventional white pigs, high to quickly reach maximum weight, the Kurobuta are raised more slowly, allowing better distribution of intramuscular fats. This gives meat of remarkable tenderness. Kurobuta feeding is a key factor in their quality. Rather than being fed with inexpensive industrial foods, their diet consists of cereals, corn, sweet potatoes, and sometimes even milk. This food choice contributes to developing meat with dark flesh, rich taste, and melting texture, characterized by abundant marbling. Kurobuta breeding is also marked by less intensive living conditions. They benefit from more space and a less stressful environment, which still improves the quality of meat. While industrial pigs are generally killed at 5 or 6 months, the Kurobuta reach their maturity between 10 and 12 months, which promotes the formation of a well-distributed intramuscular fat and guarantees unequaled jutosu. With an annual production estimated at 30,000 tons, Kurobuta meat represents a minimal fraction compared to the 130 million tons of conventional pork produced each year. However, its growing prestige makes it one of the most sought-after and sophisticated meats on the market. Fans of gastronomy are increasingly attracted by this delicacy, thus consolidating the position of Kurobuta in the meat industry. For centuries, leeches have been used for medicinal purposes. Their ability to extract blood without provoking coagulation makes it a precious tool in traditional medicine. However, What was formerly dependent on collection in nature has become a regulated and specialized industry. The growing demand for microsmetic treatments, and even in the cosmetic field, has led to the creation of farms dedicated to their breeding. Thus, millions of leeches are high in controlled environments to meet the needs of hospitals, laboratories, and, in certain regions, gastronomic markets. The breeding process begins with a carefully selected reproductive population. These leeches are kept in freshwater tanks, where temperature and pH are meticulously regulated. Food is also crucial. They only feed on the blood of animals previously treated to avoid the transmission of diseases. Regarding their reproduction, leeches are hermaphrodites, but require to mate with others to reproduce. Each leech then deposits eggs in wet capsules, from where young people will emerge a few weeks later. At the start of their lives, little leeches cannot feed on blood. They therefore remain in an environment rich in organic debris until reaching sufficient size for their first diet. Before their distribution, leeches undergo a process of purification. Then, they are briefly boiled or immersed in alcohol to eliminate toxins, then dried in the sun or in hot air ovens. This rigorous method guarantees their conservation and safety for human consumption. Each year, around 10 million leeches are high for medical uses and 5 million for human consumption. Camel milk. Camel milk is an ancestral product that has recently gained recognition on the world market due to its nutritional value and health benefits. However, its production is complex. Unlike cows, which have been domesticated for the production of large-scale milk, the camels have not been genetically selected for this use, which causes a much lower yield. Indeed, while a dairy cow can produce up to 50 liters per day, a camel generally produces only 3 to 6 liters in optimal conditions. Another important factor is the maternal behavior of camelid females, which only release their milk in the presence of their young. This implies that the milking process requires a particular approach. Young people must approach mothers to stimulate the ejection of milk. On the nutritional level, camel milk is distinguished by its high content of vitamin C, its richness in iron and beneficial fatty acids, as well as its low lactose content, thus facilitating digestion for intolerant people. This milk has aroused growing interest in various markets, especially in the Middle East, Africa, Australia, and Europe. The main producing countries include Somalia, Kenya, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, where camel milk is an integral part of the local culture. Despite its boom, production remains limited, with approximately 3 million tons per year, a ridiculous figure compared to the 600 million tons of cow's milk produced every year worldwide. This underlines the growing importance and the rarity of this precious milk in the dairy industry. These unconventional animal production methods illustrate how innovation and adaptation meet growing market demands while strengthening our connection to the environment. Their specificities bear witness to a continuous development in the field of breeding.